Welcome to Unpacked, real conversations for diplomatic partners who are ready to unpack more than just boxes. This is the space for the brave questions, the messy middles, and the quiet decision to stop shrinking and start showing up fully. Talk identity, purpose, transitions, and what it really takes to feel at home in a life that's always moving. Because you've always been more than the label, and this is where we say it out loud. Hi, I'm Anna, and I am with my co-host Emma. Hi everyone, welcome to a very special edition of Unpacked. Because today we're starting something brand new, something truly amazing. We have a guest on our podcast, first guest ever. Woo, we're super excited. And very soon you're going to find out who it is. So basically, here's the idea behind it. We know this diplomatic lifestyle is super glossy, super amazing, yet very challenging. And yet there are some people among us who manage somehow miraculously to truly thrive in this lifestyle. And we have one of these amazing people here with us, and she's going to share with us what is her magic formula. How does on earth she managed to move from country to country, have a career, raise kids, uh, be in a representational role as well. So I can't wait to find out everything, like what are the magic ingredients. Maybe we can apply all of them too. So Emma.
Yes, so today we have my dear friend Giulia, who is here with me in Nairobi, and she has lived through many multiple postings, navigated having to be drawn down, embraced representational roles with just absolute grace, and raised her children across countries and oh, all while maintaining and progressing an amazing career. But what I love the most about Giulia is just that how much she shines and thrives in this lifestyle. The way that she is genuine and warm and so caring and just a complete pillar of our community here in Nairobi. And I'm sure she's been this in every other posting that she has been. So when I think of somebody who manages to live this life with just complete resilience, optimism, joy, and all of the amazing things that I wish I had more of, I do think of Giulia. So I do find her an inspiration, and I can't wait to learn from her today to find out all of her insights, her stories, and of course all of her top tips for making this lifestyle work for her rather than against it. So Giulia, welcome to Unpacked.
Thank you so much, and I'm moved about your words, Emma. Thank you very
Oh,
much. That's great.
no,
Yeah, it's wonderful. Thank you. I'm very
you're
happy to be here, and I'm very happy to share my stories. And if I can be of any help to anyone who is either starting to be globetrotters or anyone who is struggling, whatever, it's great to share.
it is.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're
Welcome,
amazing.
Julia.
Thank
So
you.
yes, so let's dive in because we have so many questions.
Yes, too many
Like
questions.
too many questions. So, but let's first start with with a very simple one. Can you share a bit about your background, where is home for you, and how did you stumble into this diplomatic lifestyle?
Thank you very much, Anna. So, I always wanted to be living around the world, and the diplomatic career, I envisaged it for myself when I was at university. But then I'm from Italy. In Italy, it's not a very easy path to take. It's very different from the UK diplomatic service. In the UK, it's more flexible. In Italy, it's a one career, one track that you go ahead. While in the UK, you can move in and out differently. So I could see that it wasn't. I wouldn't have fitted in Italy. So I studied economics. I studied development economics as undergraduate in Italy, and then while already during that time, I took some adventures. So I spent a year in Santiago in Chile to do an exchange program, and I was already very new. I didn't know the language. Studied in completely on the other side of the world compared to Milan, where I'm from. Very new. The university was very new. So it was my first experience as a sort of expat, although I was a student. I was still a foreigner. And then finished the university. I went to Venezuela to work for an Italian NGO And again, I was on my own, and I was an expat, and I had a wonderful time, very grassroots, very different from the experience now. So then I went to London and to do a postgraduate degree, a master's, and there is where I met my husband, Ed, and we share the passion for moving abroad and experiencing new places, new cultures. So we moved together. I was doing my PhD at the time. He was working for an NGO. We moved to Malawi. So this was the first experience to move abroad with someone. Before I was on my own, and now it's the two of us. So a lot of negotiations, where to live, how to live. And it was very amazing. It was almost 2 years in Malawi. Then back to London, finished my PhD, had 2 children, and then our first posting with the UK diplomatic service was in Uganda. And for almost 3.5 years. Then from Uganda, we moved to Beirut, Lebanon, where very difficult year. It was 2019 to 2020. There was the revolution. Then there was the devaluation of the currency. Then there was COVID. And then there was the huge blast in the port of Beirut. So we were drawn down. Then London for 4 years. In the meantime, my husband went to Mogadishu. So I even experienced the life without the partner, because he's posted somewhere that is not a family
It's called
friendly.
split assignment. Officially, there's
Split
an official term,
assignment.
split assignments.
Very
Challenging.
tough as
I
well.
know. Yep.
Yeah.
Done that too. Yep.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then now I've been in Nairobi since August 2024. So still here, enjoying it very much, and as a family again. So yeah, that's my quick story.
Wow. So, 3 postings, right? Or how many?
With the Foreign Office, it's been Uganda, Lebanon, and Nairobi. Yeah.
Nairobi. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, what was the most challenging so far?
I
Which
think
one?
they've all had different challenges.
Yeah.
So Uganda, I had very small children. My youngest was not even one, and there's malaria in Uganda more than in Kenya. So you are very worried about diseases, small babies,
Yes.
schooling and nanny. And no, it's complicated. You need to put a lot of trust in the people that you're working with, the driver, all of this. You have never had this experience in London. You don't have a driver. You might have, and the kids were in a nursery, a council-run nursery. So it's a very different. You have an institutional trust. Where in the case of Uganda, you had a person, which is very different. And there wasn't much to do compared to Nairobi. The city was offering for the nightlife or the social life in the city was very limited compared to here. So you had to invent yourself on how to entertain the kids. But it was also a fantastic. Beirut, completely different. It was a flat, no outdoor space in a busy town, polluted, with heat. It was very challenging as well, but a beautiful place, a fantastic history, a lot of culture, so very different. And then here in Nairobi, massive metropolis, you can disappear in it. So much going on, too much going on at times, a very large community, very dispersed. So completely different challenges.
Yeah. And then how do you manage to balance out all of these amazing things that you do? So you have, obviously, you're navigating different countries, you're balancing out your professional identity, your parent identity, your identity as part of a diplomatic community. How have you managed to do it? How have you managed to find any sort of balance? I don't know.
I'm very grateful for my job. I work for a university in London. I'm now an associate professor in economics, and I work in global health and development economics. So being posted in countries that I can find a community for my work is extremely important. And when we choose the place to go, we discuss as a family what would be the destinations that are also suitable for my career. So, for example, in Uganda, I was already working. I already had a partner, collaborator in Uganda. It was an NGO where I was working with, and I actually had already visited Uganda as part of my job. So we said Uganda is going to be great, and Beirut as well. I already had a partner at the university in Beirut. So, and in Kenya as well, I already had connections. So we try to move to places as much as possible, right? Where I already have a work connection, a collaborator, a PhD student, a project, something like that. And that helped me enormously because as soon as I arrive in the country, I have a professional contact that I have already contacted before. I already worked together, and this has opened so many doors. So in Uganda, I was a visiting lecturer at Makerere School of Economics. So I had an office, I had colleagues, so I had my life, and I was teaching. It was beautiful. And in Beirut, the same. It was at the Université San Jose and the American University of Beirut. I was collaborating with them, and here with Cambridge Wellcome Trust. And so there are people that I've been knowing before, and that really helped to have my own community that is my professional community, and I'm able to keep my identity while maintaining my job in London, but
Yeah.
of working together with collaborators in country. And my department, my faculty, they've been very supportive on exceptional circumstances, of course, but because of the relationship that I had developed, it was suitable and actually seen as an advantage to be based in country.
That's
Well,
incredible. So,
like
I
I'm
know.
blown away. That's such a such a perfect combination. I think, Julia, you nailed what so many of us kind of cannot work out. You've managed to have the continuity in your career, right? It's the
Yeah,
same job. Obviously, you've progressed in your job, but kind of it's like the all factors to work for you, not against you, right?
yeah,
You can use you're based, right? London is the base, but because that was part of your job already,
yeah,
collaborating and doing research, and now it's even better. It's like it's a win-win-win. Everyone is
yeah,
winning, and that's why. Wow, this is amazing. This is truly.
yeah,
Yeah.
But I would also say it's unique. I definitely think what you've
yeah.
set up
Yeah.
there. I don't know how. Like, did you
Yeah,
know that this is
that's
what's going
exactly
to
what
happen?
that's exactly what I was going to
How did you
say.
manage it?
Did you
I
like?
knew well, I knew I wanted to travel, and my work, I don't work with the UK NHS, for example. I don't have European projects, so I could, why not, but I've always been project around the world, and so this is why when you choose, it's not that Ed is posted. I mean, he applies to posts, right? So we try to choose places that we know is going to work. So it's a teamwork. It's a team effort. So if he had been posted, I mean, if he had chosen to go to places like in Eastern Europe, for example, I don't know the contexts. That would have been much harder for me in a sense, or in North America as well. That would have been very difficult.
Yeah. And is it just that it so happened to be that coincidental that you had already had these collaborators, or did you proactively think ahead of time that, oh, we might go to
Exactly.
Beirut, and then
Yeah.
so I'm
So
going to start to like get some new projects there.
yeah, I think it's I would, you speak with your colleagues, says I'm very interested in Lebanon. I would love to, so he says, oh yes, I have a project in Lebanon. Okay, can you tell me more about it? And then he says, okay, why don't we, and then we start working. For example, also I've been very interested in India, and I have started to have some collaborations in India. Maybe one day we will move there. So I have also, I mean, I have many collaborators around the world, but I also have, for example, Zimbabwe and Ghana, but I don't know if we will ever move there. And also the challenge now is not before, it was just about make it work for me and my husband. Now the challenge is that you have to also make it work for your kids,
Yes.
because my kids so the oldest is 14, and it's at the critical schooling, because high school,
Yes.
and there are not many posts with very good high school. So some
That's
countries
true.
which would be amazing to move to, they're not going to be suitable for a teenager who's finishing high school. So that also need to be factored in. And this is why Nairobi is a very good place, because there are very good high schools, while in other countries it's not the case. And so we wouldn't feel comfortable to move in a place where we know the high school will be substandard in a sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's a balancing act, right? It's
Yeah,
kind of, it's what it's good for your husband's career, what's available posting
yeah,
wise, right, at the given time, but also, for you. And I think it's just so brilliant that, yeah, how you made it work for you, not
yeah,
against you.
Yeah.
yeah. It can't work against you. It doesn't work.
Well, exactly. I think
Yeah.
because for what I realize, because I've done this lifestyle, I'm actually based in Beirut right now.
Oh,
Yes,
wow!
in Hamra,
In
Clemenceau.
Hamra. Oh,
Yes.
beautiful. I was in Ashrafie.
Oh, yep, yep, yep.
Yeah,
So it's
beautiful
all kind of
place.
the yeah, it's
Yeah.
a beautiful place. It's much better now.
Okay.
It's much better now. We obviously
Oh,
had the war here and
yeah.
evacuation last year, but it's all
Yeah.
inshallah much better
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So, but also what you say, with the kids, because I also have older kids, so exactly, you kind of need to make sure the school is working. But what I find is the most difficult if you keeping the continuity in your career because this is also
Yeah.
your identity, this is your financial independence. There is like it's a tiny hinge, but it swings a very
No.
big door.
Yeah.
It's everything. It's the foundation, and if you don't have this continuity, this lifestyle really feels like stop and go, because you set up something and you have to pack, and you
No
set up.
way. Yeah. No, I wouldn't work. It wouldn't work for me at all. And sometimes, just the other day, I was telling Ed, that if I hadn't had my job, you would be screwed. This one,
I love
it
that.
wouldn't work. It wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's extremely important for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
but
and it's
you probably know,
amazing.
Julia. Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry,
I was just
Anna.
no,
Yeah,
I
you
was
go
just about to
ahead.
say, it's just amazing that you have such amazing conversations with Ed and so open,
Yeah.
and just so very clear that you two are a complete team in this, and then to bring in the children as well. How much conversations do you have with the children when you're deciding that posting pathway?
So when we spoke about Nairobi, we didn't say so because for this UK diplomatic service, you find out many months in advance, almost like a year in advance at times.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's actually takes months and months. So we had known for many months in advance, but we decided not to tell them too early, just to avoid the stress. So we were leaving in August and we told them at Easter, so around April, while we had known since before Christmas.
Ah, okay.
So because there was no point in stressing them, and they would have not enjoyed the last those 6 months. And we did say that we were applying to go overseas, and we discussed the options when it was time to apply. But we didn't communicate the results straight away. We took a bit of months. But we did say then we came on the recce visit here in March. We told them we are going to Nairobi to check out your schools, and then we can decide if we like them or not. Then we show them the different school options on the website. We took pictures and we showed them when we came back. And then in April we said it's going to be Nairobi. This is the school we thought it was going to be the best. And there were tears. There was sadness. There was some I hate you, But I spoke with my mentor at my work, and I said, it's going to be tough. And she was amazing. She said, she's 14. She's going to hate you anyway, right? At least you're going to give her a good reason for hating you.
That's such a
And
good
it's
one.
great. It's true.
Yes, it
Because
is true.
teenagers are gonna always be against you, whatever
Yep,
decision,
yep, yep.
whatever. So, and actually, she was incredible. She has been so happy, and the school has been fantastic in opening arms and welcoming new students. It's an international school, so they're used to that. But the pastoral care has been amazing. So she has been extremely happy. The other one, she's 10. The youngest, she was super excited at the beginning, and then because the school is actually, I mean, if you compare their community school in London, with no outdoor, with a very limited outdoor space compared to this one, which is like Disneyland, it's quite amazing. And so at the beginning she was super excited because it's play time. But actually then the work started, and she was like, okay, it's not so fun anymore. But it's okay. It's elementary school, so they're both doing really well. There are some things that are missing. So the teenager is missing the freedom, and Nairobi is a place where
Mm,
teenagers do not have freedom. They cannot walk out, while in London she would walk, take public transport, visit her friends, and
yes.
etc. And the younger one, her favorite sports she was doing at quite high level is gymnastics, and there is not much happening
Mm.
here. It's at a more recreational level, so she's been quite sad about it. But we are trying to make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was because I mean I have three children, so I
Okay.
also have teenagers. So yes, I'm in the same boat. Um, what was the most challenging and the most rewarding part for you so far, raising kids, across continents, across countries?
Yeah. So they know they were born in London. We have a place in London and they call London home. So
Hmm.
what is nice was nice. So they've been to the same community school, which is around the corner from our place, for a few years on and off. So then they've kept their friends in London. What has been challenging, it was the leaving London. So leaving London has always been the most challenging part,
Hmm.
uh, because people there are not used to live. So the
Yes.
community, some
Yeah,
people
of course.
went, yeah, the kids in that school, their parents had been in that school. It's a
Mm.
small community. While here or in Uganda, living has been somehow easier for them because the school and the community, it's transient. So they're used to let you go,
Yes.
and they're used to receive you. While in London, it's difficult to come back and it's difficult to leave compared to many other places. While I think in Nairobi and Uganda and Beirut, it was easy to arrive in some extent. I mean, Beirut wasn't easy to leave because there was the blast, so it's quite dramatic. But in general,
Hmm.
for the kids, how the school manages the departure and arrival, it's much more, of course, inclusive. This is what their mission somehow is also, is to cater for this transient community.
Exactly. I think that's what international schools excel at,
Yes,
right? They know how to welcome new kids. They know
yeah,
because it's transient lifestyle and they're really
yeah,
good at it. And I
yeah.
imagine what you were describing, if it's a local community school in London, they don't do that. And
No,
that's why, slotting back in or leaving is just, they're
it's
not used to
harder.
it. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
much harder.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And
And
just,
oh,
yes.
no, no, you go on.
No, I just wanted to ask you because it sounds to me you also did this hemisphere jump. How did you do it with the schools, right? Because the school year doesn't
No, it's the
coincide. No,
same.
you didn't? It
It
was the
it
same?
it
Okay.
coincides.
Oh, good.
Yes, 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 yes. It's the same August to June.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
awesome. It
yeah,
makes
yeah,
life
yeah,
easier.
yeah. Much
Definitely.
easier. Yes.
Much easier.
Much easier.
You go, Emma.
So I was going to ask, obviously, you're from Milan and you said that the children regard home as London. How do you navigate like spending your holidays across, well, your own personal holidays where you might want to explore Kenya or other nearby
Yeah,
countries versus going back to the UK and seeing, your friends and family in the UK versus your friends and family in Italy? How do
yeah.
you navigate all of those?
So we spend the majority of our holidays in Italy, the one that we don't spend here. The summer or so this year we're gonna go to Italy for Christmas, but is if it's not us going, Italy is coming to us. So last Christmas my parents came for Christmas. My sister and very close friends came for New Year. Then another two sets of families came for Easter. So I have. So last year we didn't go back to Italy, but as I said, I think were five sets of families came to visit us from Italy.
Wow.
So and so we then explore Kenya together, and it's beautiful. So we went to the Masai Mara, we went to the Watamu, we went to Lamu, we went to Olpejeta, we went to the beautiful places together, and it's wonderful. And this is our Italian side. And now we are going for Christmas to the mountains with my family, and then I will spend some days in Milan in January. And I'm also going to make it work for my youngest daughter. She really wants to train. So we found a club in Milan where she can train for her gymnastics. And so it does fit in. You can make it work in that sense. And of course, Italy is the best place to go on holiday for me. Well, I have to say that over the summer we went to Wales and I was surprised. I didn't
Yeah.
expect it to be so beautiful. So we do have some holidays in the UK as well. Not many.
No, really. I love that. And what I think you do so well at, Julia, is just inviting people into your home and into your space. And how much or do you value that personally for yourself, or how much do you find that as being part of your representational role, and that's just kind of what you should do versus what you want to do? And have you had to put any boundaries in place to kind of protect your family time?
So I don't do so the open door. It's so the house here. It's an open door house basically. This is the way it was when we arrived. Has always been. It's a beautiful old house in a beautiful compound in the middle of Nairobi, and the office uses the house as a venue for events, for meetings. They even do the citizenship ceremonies here. I mean, they do all sorts of things in my house. And also it's used for formal events like gala dinners and whatever. So I'm just looking outside in the garden. There is a huge marquee. So tonight there is going to be an event. Often I don't even know what event is about. So there are the office events where I am not part of it. When I arrived, I was quite overwhelmed by all of these activities in my house. I wasn't prepared, and there was no system. So what I put in place, I mean, it worked for the previous occupant of the house because it was a much small household compared to us. I've put up a form, a Microsoft form, so now the office can book the house exactly with
Mm.
timing, from what time to that time, which space they want to use, who's going to be in charge, who's the point of contact, how many people, how many external people, how many internal people. So it's much more, the logistic is much easier for everyone. For myself, for our housekeeper, for the office, so that then this get approved, and then I receive a notification that the house is going to be booked from this time to this time for this event. This is the number of people you're expecting, and that's helped me a lot so that I can work around that. Because before, sometimes the kids were coming back from school and they would find, people in the sitting room or, or in the veranda. There
Oh my
was,
God.
and I, that was a bit strange. And now we know, so we know to expect. And I told them this morning, there is an event in this evening, so that's okay. We can. There's no problem. And actually, they enjoy that. They enjoy to see their dad also in a role. So there was the king's birthday party. Was it like last week or a few weeks ago? Now I can't even remember. And I want them to be there so that they could, because Ed was hosting the event and he was speaking with the microphone. There were 1,000 plus 1,400 people maybe, and it was a huge. So they were so excited to see him there and actually to see what it is, the job, and why we are here. It means a lot to him, and that's great that they can see that in action. Then I have my open door policy for myself is that when I have the yoga ladies coming after for a coffee or my friends for lunch, I'm always very open. We have always been as a family in Italy. We always had friends over for Sunday lunch. It's very traditional. So that's also in London. We always have people, and in Uganda was the same. Friends, birthday parties, kids coming for play dates. My oldest daughter now, she doesn't want to invite her friends anymore. Uh,
Whatever reasons.
whatever reason, but I think it's normal. The
Yes.
youngest
Yes.
still invite the friends. So yeah, so the boundaries are important. Communication with the office is extremely important. I don't have to be involved in any of the activities. I don't have to be. So sometimes I like to prepare. If Ed has an official lunch or an official dinner, I like to be in the kitchen. I like cooking, and I can do that. I don't have to sit with them, and unless there is a particular reason. But I'm very happy in the kitchen preparing. I really like it. I enjoyed it so much. You get immediate reward when you prepare some nice food, while compared to research, it takes 5 years to receive the results. At least here, you have very quick feedback, which
Yeah.
is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
Wow. So
Yes.
Julia, let me recap. So you are working. Is it a full-time job you do?
full-time
Your
job.
research. Oh my God. So you
Yeah.
have two kids. You have an open house with lots of, even that takes a lot of scheduling. You also have the open house, for friends. I know that Emma runs yoga. Like, how on earth do you fit it all in your like days, and how do
I
Yes.
you?
can. Yeah,
Yes, tell us.
I think I have an answer because I was in London for half term in October because my youngest daughter wanted to go back to see her friends, so we did. I did, and if you know, you must know, right, that a lot of the time women do the double shift, right? We do a lot of unpaid
Yeah,
work,
invisible.
and Yeah.
Yeah, invisible
And
work. Yeah.
invisible unpaid work. And the beauty of living in certain countries is that you have a lot of support at home. So I have Lisa, my housekeeper. She's amazing. So she runs the household.
Mm,
Everything that I was doing in London, from cleaning to shopping, cooking, washing, ironing. I wasn't ironing in London, never iron anything. But yeah, no, I had a cleaner coming once a week for a few hours. That was it. But here you have full-time support.
yeah.
Then we also from this year we've hired a driver, and he has been instrumental in taking the kids everywhere. Because also that one is something that in London I was moving, like a mad one, up and down, up and down, up and down, taking the kids everywhere. And this is beautiful. So you remove all of the household chores, the invisible work, and you have a life back. You have multiple lives back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
You've
that's kind
become
of
the queen
Yeah.
of delegation.
Yes. Fantastic.
Yes.
the queen
And
of
it's so
delegation. I
important.
love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And obviously, you've spoken very briefly about your professional network, and you've already kind of preempted that community, that you've already got those connections. For your personal connections and obviously your friendships and things, how do you create that space of belonging once you've moved to a new country?
So of course, I always try to connect with the Italian community because it's the one that I belong probably the most. And I also like it for my kids to get connected to the Italian community. So that's my often is my first point of contact. Also, I need to know, where do you get the best mozzarella or the best pasta, right? So that's
Yes, yes,
vital and instrumental for your own well-being.
yes.
So, there is a WhatsApp group, Italians in Nairobi, which is amazing. And I got to know some people around there. And then there was the one in Uganda, it was much smaller. We all knew each other. And so we set up a school for the kids to learn Italian. And we set up even a cultural associations to promote Italian movies and Italian food. In Uganda was much smaller. So we could do a lot. It was fantastic. Here in Kenya, there's already a lot happening. The Italian community is much bigger. So that's usually my first point of contact when I move to a country and I try to discover the Italian community. Then, of course, there is the school community. If you have kids, the
Yep.
community of the school, the parents. I'm not involved in the parent-teacher association, but a lot of my friends are. I mean, that's another full-time job, basically unpaid, because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Um, they have a great time. So last year I participated in some of their activities that they were doing. I was happy to contribute ad hoc according to, if it would fit in. And that's opens a lot of doors, and you have people from all over the world, which is super nice. So mainly those one are and then of course the interests I have is with Pilates or yoga. Then you have your own other community around there. And then another beautiful things, which I think is fantastic, is you meet friends again from previous posting.
Yes.
So, for example, this year in August, friends from the Malawi days when we met in 2008. So we're
Wow.
talking
Wow.
about many years
A long
ago, and
time
now
ago.
they,
Yeah.
yeah, they moved back here. So we got to meet them, to meet them again, to meet their children, which we hadn't met them yet. So it was beautiful, and also friends from Uganda are now here, so we see them again. So you will meet again. This is the other thing that you have to remember, and. Probably if you move to a place, there is someone that you already know, or there is a friend of a friend that you know. So the network is there. You just need to pull some strings and find out where are they. And often, the friends of your friends are your friends.
Yes.
I love it. Yes, the
Yeah.
friends of your friends are your friends. And it is in a way a very small world, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
why at some point it was, oh gosh, everyone knows everyone and everyone
yeah.
is kind of in a way interconnected.
Yeah. And also I know there are other networks which I was attending a few times in Uganda. I haven't done it here. There is a network of diplomatic spouses, I believe. Like there was in Uganda, it was quite active. They were meeting every month on rotation in different residents, and they would have some speakers from NGOs or charity they wanted to support, or they were doing like outings. It was because it was just much smaller community. I know here there is, I think, like it's called the International Women Association or something like that. There are several associations, so if people wanted to meet up with someone, there is plenty of opportunities.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I just one final question from me, Julia, before we kind of start to wrap up just a little bit, because just it's just amazing to just hear everything that you're saying. I'm sat here like just like so like glowing and just love listening to you, Julia, and I could sit with you all day. But if you could bottle up one magic ingredient for if you were going to just give a little bottle or a magic pill to a diplomatic spouse, and this is like this is it, this is everything you need to thrive overseas. What would that one magic ingredient be?
Only one.
Just one.
Yeah, I know it's very challenging.
Just one.
Well,
Yeah, I think the most important thing for me has been to be open-minded and to talk to people, every single person, from any background, to trying to understand the place you live in. So, and the place you live in, so to read as much as possible, not to be judgmental. It's going to be different, but you need to have an open mind and trying to understand the dynamics, the social interactions, the political background, the history of a country. So here, for example, we represent the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom had a heavy history in this country, and I think it's very important to read about it, to read some writers, to go to plays about it, and to talk to people and the legacies that has left here and the current situations somehow is linked to the past. So open-minded and understanding and digging, just try not to be superficial because we tend to be in a bubble. This is UK soil where we are. We can eat British food, just speak English to everyone. But this is not the real life. The real life is out there. So just go out, talk with your Uber driver, try the local food, learn Swahili, understand what goes on, because that's really help to fit in a bit more.
Yeah, I love that.
yeah, so to properly arrive, right, and
Yeah,
not just being
Yeah.
a guest, very kind
yeah,
of entitled,
mm,
entitled and rather arrogant guest
yeah,
in a country. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a very good one. And so, Julia, if you could go back in time, would you choose this again? Like, this
Oh,
lifestyle?
100 times more. I wouldn't change anything.
Oh,
And
Yeah,
how
I would
long?
probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's yeah, kind of. I'm not surprised. That was the answer I was expecting. You too, probably, Emma. And what do you think, Julia? Like, I know you were already saying it's India. It's where I'd like to go. So, how many postings, or like, how long do you think you're going to keep doing
I
it
would
for?
like, well, I think we can until we can go ahead. We've done a lot of Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, then we've moved to Lebanon. I would love another maybe Arab-speaking country.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough exposure to the culture and the language. It was quite brief, quite intense. So I would love that. I was very excited when I was there. But I would also don't know anything about Southeast Asia. So that would also be very, very interesting to explore those countries, not just for a holiday, but to live in those countries. So I'm very open-minded. I would go anywhere, honestly. And the beauty that once the kids are grown and are off,
Yeah.
then you can choose differently. You have one criterion for choosing a way, which is the schooling, which is a big one, right? So then you
Yep.
can decide based on other criteria.
yeah.
Amazing. So you can start your collaboration
Yes,
network
everywhere.
Yes.
everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Julie. It's literally you've just been our very first and the very best guest so far. I have,
Thank you.
I hope that everyone listening is just going to take so much inspiration because you are just always a joy, and thank you for showing up here just completely your true self and just sharing all of your amazing stories. Honestly, it's been fantastic, hasn't it, Anna?
Absolutely. It was such a pleasure meeting you, Julia. And thank you for sharing with us and the world and all the listeners, tips and don'ts and do's and don'ts and exactly how you make this lifestyle, work for you. That was truly amazing.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for the opportunity to share. I'm always very happy to chat, and Emma knows that I'm always very happy to to meet and share. It's great. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
No,
You're so
thank you
welcome,
very
Giulia.
much.
And before we wrap up, I just wanted to throw it out there. So to you, the listeners, if you liked it, please tell us. And if you know someone who's in this person does have some magic ingredients. She cracked the magic formula. Let us know who this person is. We get in touch, or you put us in touch with that person. We'd love to have more guests on our podcast. So these are special episodes, right? That we call them the magic formula for the diplomatic lifestyle. So, and I think we are complete, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much. And thank you, Giulia.
Thank you.
And thank you,
Bye.
Anna, as always. Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye, everyone. Bye.